I noticed lately on the internet that there was a discussion going on a couple of different lifestyle news sites. Like, he's a news site, but he was discussing lifestyle things, and a discussion that he opened up was couples that weren't sleeping together. Now, that can be taken a million different ways. But the first conversation that this journalist started was sleeping together in the same bedroom, but not necessarily on the same mattress. And that seemed to get people really riled up because they were wondering what that meant. Because we know sleep number beds each have a side to it. I'm not sure if they're separate because I've never been that close to a sleep number bed. But each side provides a different firmness or softness, and I think they even have heating and cooling now. So there's always been that. Or there's been this, which my husband and I thought we invented, but I don't think that we did. About 10 years ago, when we moved into this apartment, 10 or 11 years ago, we had a large California king-size mattress on this bed, and it had, I think it just had a foam top. Going back 15 years when we bought this mission-style bed, and it was a mission-style California king-size bed, we had I think about a $2,000 mattress on it with a pillow top, so it was like a $3,500 bed. I sunk down on my side, my husband sunk down on his side. We used it for a little while, and when we moved into this apartment, we took off the pillow top, we put on a foam top, and nothing was working. I was sweating, he was sweating. I was soon to be going through menopause where I would have night sweats, and he was having restless legs because he was eating, he either had restless legs and we cured it, or he had it and it was simmered down by not eating candy, chocolate, or anything that was caffeinated prior to bed, because he doesn't have those issues anymore. But 10 or 11 years ago, when we moved into this apartment and we put a foam instead of the pillow top, that didn't work either. So we went to a local furniture store and thought, hey, we've got this basically California king platform. What can we do? We don't want to throw that out, or of course our headboard. What can we do? And I came up with the idea, how about if we have just the two twin mattresses? Then you can have your firmness and I can have my, at the time, softness, and we'll call it a day. So we ordered two twin, actually they came out to be twin extra long, to fit this California king. I always say California king because it's like just an inch or so in between. And we each got an extra long twin, and there we have it. Pushed them together, we're still in the same bed, we're still in the same bedroom. He has a much firmer, and then he can buy whatever pillow top, foam top, whatever he wants for the top of his mattress, because I don't think we've slept on just a bare mattress for years, and probably going on 22 years now. And then I can have whatever I want. And if he has his restless legs, which again I say he hasn't had for several years, I'm not being jumped up and down in the bed with his legs moving. And if I toss and turn, and he says that I always toss and turn really wide, and where I almost knock him out of bed, well, I can do that now all on my own, and he's not even bothered. One of the things that happened to us over the last few years is I don't even go to bed when he goes to bed anymore because he has such a snoring problem, and then I work the night shift, so that kind of solved that. I work the night shift. I don't really have to try to get to sleep with his snoring. His snoring is out of this world. We're going to try to get that taken care of in this next year. But yeah, it works for us. When he gets up out of bed, I go to bed. And I don't think that there's anybody or anything in the world where, you follow these straight lines or everything is in a box. If we would have continued to stay on our king-size mattress, and we would have continued to, for the sake of, it would break our marriage, to sleep in separate beds. Well, if that's going to be the biggest thing that's going to break our marriage, probably not solid ground that we're on anyways. By that time, if one of us or both of us would have been martyrs and decided to stay on that large king-size mattress, with the foam, and he likes to be all uncovered. He just likes to have a sheet. I like to be covered up. I like to be by the window and have the window cracked. He likes to be by the door and have the window shut. I mean, I don't know. I'm sure there's people out there when they got married and that they married somebody that was exactly like them. Slept in the same type mattress, underneath the same type blankets, with the same type pillows and the same type of pillow tops, and everything went wonderful. But I know more people than not, and I do know some martyrs that have slept next to their partner for years on a horrible mattress, listening and staying awake all night to snoring and sweating and having to have blankets when they would prefer to have a sheet, and that's just not who I am. I mean, number one, your health is the most important, and if you're happy and you wake up after a good night's sleep, you're better for yourself, for your family, and for your home, and for your health than if you decide to basically martyr yourself and sleep wide awake all night long on a mattress that you're suffering through while you're sweating half to death, and then you wake up half dead the next day. And do that on repeat every day for I don't know how many years of your marriage. It's just not worth it to me. My husband is very happy sleeping on his twin extra long. I'm very happy sleeping on mine. Like I said, my work keeps me up at night. I do remote work at night. He's able to go to bed and snore till his heart's content. And when I crawl into bed when he goes to work, I'm able to get my 8 hours of sleep. This has worked for us. We had sheet sets prior to getting any of our queen and king beds. We slept on a twin bed together, believe it or not. My husband is 6'3". So then when we were first married, we didn't have any money to buy a bed. So his parents gave us 2 twin beds. So we really only slept on a king size bed for just a few short years, probably 4 or 5, and it was miserable. And we both agree it was miserable. So, and when it comes time where I don't do remote night work anymore, we will be out of this apartment, and when his snoring is bad, I will have another room to go to crawl into bed and go to sleep, because there's just no reason to sacrifice your sleep. I mean, we got a strong, happy 30-year-old marriage, and where we sleep, how we sleep, and what we sleep on isn't going to be the make it or break it for our marriage. So this is a big controversial subject on the internet. How dare people sleep on separate mattresses or in separate rooms or at separate times of the day or night? But this works. And if you have a partner that has night sweats or is going through menopause or has health issues, snoring issues, restless leg syndrome, this is the answer to it right here. Get yourself a king-size platform, king-size frame. Put a couple of extra long twin mattresses on it. You can get whatever firmness that you want at a furniture store, mattress store. Get yourself a really nice headboard. In this case, ours is almost 20 years old and we still love it. Slap those 2 mattresses together. You can have the type of sheets. I've got flannel, he's got cotton. I've got a certain pillow top that I just bought from a new company. It's Novaform, NUE, and he's got one from Serta or Sealy, one of the two. And the mattresses are Sealy mattresses. Got a little bed skirt, and we're good to go. So if you're having those types of issues in that, there's no need to be ashamed or embarrassed or anything. People aren't going to think that your marriage is at an end, or you're soon to be in divorce court, or you're losing out on intimacy, or whatever the case may be. None of that is in the picture here. We're still happy, still married, and still sleeping on separate mattresses every night of the week. Hi everyone, this is Kim from This Boomer's Life. I'm just popping in just with some thoughts about tonight's video. I know online and throughout this journalist just speaking about it on his Instagram, it raised such a ruckus and stuff like that, but I'm sure most of the people viewing this or people way into the future viewing this will kind of have a good laugh, because when I was growing up in the 70s and that, my parents slept separate. My dad had terrible arthritis and couldn't make the stairs. And had he not passed away very early on, they would have been married 50 years next summer. My grandparents also slept separate their entire marriage after they created their children in that for various reasons. The number one reason was that my grandfather snored. So they would have been married. Well, we celebrated their 50th anniversary when they were both alive. So, I mean, I've known people married 50, 60, 68 years that slept separate for health reasons. And yet I know a family member in that basically martyred herself and slept next to a man that snored ferociously their entire marriage because it was taboo, or the church, or whatever the reason was that they brought into it, that they had to stay sleeping together. And there really is no rule or law that I'm aware of. If there is one, please let me know in the show or in the comments section. I don't know of anything that says if your partner keeps you awake the entire night that you should sleep next to him. But this particular family member did, and by the time she was 65, she'd had quadruple bypass. The number one reason was she had a very stressful life and never got any rest. And so I have two uncles that died early in their 60s from having sleep issues and heart problems. I have heart and sleep problems. I've had sleep anxiety since I was a young kid. And there's just no way that I'm going to watch my health go downhill and stuff like that for what society or friends or coworkers may think is just this, you know, the most awful thing in the world. Now, granted, my husband and I do sleep in the same bedroom. And when I'm done with the night shift remote work, we will sleep in the same bed at the same time, unless he's snoring too loudly. But there are people that sleep in separate rooms and it works out just fine. So I've included a little article in the show notes and that when people historically slept separate. I remember the first show that I watched when I was a little kid was Lucille Ball, and her and Ricky slept separate in twin beds. Now that was something that was played up for TV at the time. You know, it was the 50s and 60s, and that's the way things were given to us on the TV and that. But realistically, in real life, people were sleeping like that all over the world. So nowadays in that, it seems like this horrible thing, and that it would definitely cause a divorce and stuff. But I think as long as your partner, your husband, your spouse, wife, still maintain intimacy, closeness, and connective, you stay connected throughout the day or week or month or year, I don't foresee any problems. Like I said, we're married almost 30 years and have zero issues. So we do have a wonderful night's sleep. We are rested, we are energetic, and we are healthy. So it is working in our favor somehow. So thanks for joining me in tonight's video. I look forward to seeing you and your comments in tonight's video. And if you like this type of video, or cooking, cleaning, organizing, holiday different decorating and food and baking, travel around Wisconsin, just some talking, shopping hauls, new things that I purchase, book and movie reviews, hit the subscribe button and join me here once a week for videos. I've been putting them out now just a little over a year. I'd love to have you in my community. If you have a YouTube channel yourself, please put it in the comments and I'll follow back. Thank you for stopping by and take care.